basically Alright, now that we are live and for some reason I can't upload through normal webcam capture anymore, hell, I'll upload this through a Google Plus Hangout. So, what I'm planning on is like thoughts from last night's Raw, going on into Money in the Bank, and possible SummerSlam matches. So, during the first match last night, Rollins versus Ziggler, you had Ambrose coming out, try to get his hands on Rollins, which set up the match between him and Bad News Barrett. So, this pretty much cemented a possible match for SummerSlam, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. And that would pretty much be a pretty good match for SummerSlam. Plus, we also have that possibility of Triple H versus Roman Reigns. How I possibly see that going down is, we all know Roman Reigns is not going to win Money in the Bank. Because, like, here's my two possible standouts for winning that. Bray Wyatt and Cesaro, those are my possible wins. But I'm also going to pull a wild card. The wild card I'm going to pull for a possible winner would be Brock Lesnar. Because, like, goes along with the storyline how Roman Reigns wasn't even supposed to be in that battle royal, but he somehow tricked Vicky into putting him in that battle royal. So I could possibly see Triple H doing something of having Roman Reigns taken out to where he doesn't even make it to the ladder match. Possible. And bringing in the wild card that I would think of as Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar goes into that. He's going to win. And the rumors for Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar for the belt would pretty much be true for SummerSlam. But on the other end, we could also have Brock Lesnar versus Cesaro. Of course, either match I wouldn't be complaining about. Because, like, if they're going to put the belt on Lesnar, you're probably going to put the belt on him at Money in the Bank. Because, like, why would you crown a champion only to have him drop it to Lesnar a month after you just crowned a champion? But this is WWE we're talking about. Belts don't mean shit anymore. But who knows? If we have the rematch from last year, Cena versus Bryan, but okay. Excuse for that outburst. Sorry. So, if the only way they would do a redemption storyline for Cena Bryan 2 is to have a redemption storyline favoring Daniel Bryan to where he could win the belt without being screwed over by a crooked referee. But don't necessarily see that happening because I don't necessarily see Cena becoming champion either. But it's still possibility out there, but whatever. I don't see Cena being champion. I see like another rematch between Cena and Wyatt at SummerSlam. Because like Cena and Wyatt will probably fuck each other over out of the Money in the Bank. And plus, my whole idea with Daniel Bryan, because like it's not necessarily the booking that made Daniel Bryan lose momentum. I'm pretty much thinking it was more or less bad luck from his personal life that killed his momentum. Mainly because what I think, he won the belt, got married to Brie, had his honeymoon. When he came back, he got the news that his dad died. So that Raw, his mind wasn't even on being there. Plus the Make-A-Wish kid died. Plus he had a neck injury. Neck injuries, out with neck surgery. So all that bad luck. Plus they could have booked the whole shit with Kane a little better. That was also part of it, but that could have been booked better anyway. And it just drastically killed his momentum. But mainly it was the bad luck in his personal life that killed it. Here's what I like to see. Daniel Bryan come back in as the underdog. Because, like, he can gain back a lot of momentum in a good chase for the championship. Plus, play a couple vignettes for him before he comes back so he can get that hype again. And plus, if they do have Bryan versus Brock, it would give him a hell of a lot of momentum to beat Brock Lesnar, because he's plus also bragging rights over Triple H whenever Triple H brings up the whole B+ player thing, because Bryan can all that Bryan would have to say is he beat Brock Lesnar in his first match against him. Plus, he also would have beat the guy who beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. It would be an epic career move for Daniel Bryan, possibly an epic match. Because, like, you got a striker in Brock Lesnar and a fast-moving submission specialist in Daniel Bryan. Plus, he's also taking on people twice his size. And with his ability, he can have a good match with anybody. And also leading to another match that we already know could be booked, Triple H versus Roman Reigns. That rumor could come to pass, with Triple H possibly screwing Roman out of the Money in the Bank ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful. And to some of the thoughts from last night's Raw. Cody Rhodes coming out dressed as Starman. kind of looked a little Stardust. Oh yeah, that's another thing what Cody Rhodes looked like. Starman from that pro wrestling video game on the NES. Yeah, but one thing, it's not gonna pan out. I pretty much see one thing with this gimmick. Cody Rhodes is gonna eventually turn on Goldust and possibly start that feud going into SummerSlam. So that gimmick probably won't even last past Money in the Bank or Battleground. But who knows? It could work. But it could be one of those gimmicks to get used to. Plus, Kevin Hart is a Rosebud. And also the whole thing with Stephanie puking on Vicky Guerrero. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people shit on this, but there was a whole bunch of that cornball immature comedy act going on, like in the Attitude Era. Iceman brought this up where he talked about Jericho pissing in William Regal's tea. That's pretty much stuff that's always happened in the WWE Attitude Era up till now. Plus, you can count Austin driving a beer truck into the arena and spraying down McMahon and the corporation as like comic relief. But people are pretty much hypocrites to that. Different time, different era. But also, it's more or less this thing, like a character like Vicky Guerrero, she's so smug and annoying. People like to see her get embarrassed whenever they get the chance to. Just because it's funny to see Vicky get upset over it. Because she knows she got embarrassed. And that she's so smug that she's above everybody. That's what makes stuff like that funny for her. And plus, it's also fun to embarrass anybody in the authority. But the way I would have stated it, I would have had Triple H drink that drugged coffee and then puke on his wife. It would have been embarrassment for the authority more than Vicky Guerrero. And plus, John Cena winning last night was predictable, but like I say, I don't see Cena winning Money in the Bank. And that's just my thoughts for Raw from Money in the Bank through SummerSlam. So, peace the fuck out.